baby, it is cold outside, but the action is heating up in the shop. Let's get to work welding in this floor pan. I already got ahead of you guys here and I did some fitment on this floor pan. I already got it clamped in. We're gonna start getting it tacked in place. You saw in the intro, I took some time and made up all the flanges. I got the panel all cleaned up, everything ground up, all my holes prematurely punched because I'm actually gonna have to trim this panel down and repunch these, but that's okay. Everything else is ready to start going in, and we're not leaving this shop tonight until this floor pan is welded in place. Let's get to work. I'm gonna get started tacking in this corner, and then we're gonna start kind of fitting everything else up into place. What I'm having trouble with on this side is if I move that corner, it pulls this out of shape. If I move this, it pulls that out of shape. So I want to go ahead and get this tacked in here and probably over here in this corner, and then we'll start working our way up the side of the panel. So let's get after it. The original floor pan is a little bit thin. All right, got a few tacks in there. See if I can bring this. Oh yeah, that's gonna work just real nice. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna work my way across the side here and start bringing this up and getting it tacked in place. We can go ahead and pull these clamps for the moment, a couple of these clamps at least. I'm gonna leave that one in place for now. I don't know about the rest of you, but this week is frigid here in the Midwest. Think back about a week from now. What was the weather like for you? For us, it is cold. I'm just outside of Chicago this week and we're down in the single digits, which, you know, normally wouldn't be that bad, but we've had a pretty mild winter so far, so just getting adjusted to that first real cold snap. Now, the one positive about that is the ice is here. You guys are going to see coming up here pretty soon a cargo trailer that I converted to be an ice fishing trailer. Me and my buddies go ice fishing every year for a week up in Wisconsin. So when we're gone ice fishing, you're going to see my shanty on the channel. I like the cold. I do complain about it when I'm working in the shop because sometimes it is a pain in the butt to do this mechanical stuff with your fingers when it's so cold, but I genuinely enjoy the winter, and I would not want to live someplace where I don't get my cold season. What about you guys? You guys like the winter? It does make car stuff a lot more difficult, I will say that, especially with all the salt on the roads. Pretty much put up all your summer rides for the winter. Now's the time when you work on them around here. These clamps can be a major pain. Pretty much takes all 2 hands to operate them. So when you're trying to get the panel in the right spot and get them tightened, it can be a little bit annoying, but they really do work well for this type of application where I'm trying to put a complex shaped panel in place in one shot here. All right, I'm hoping this one will hold it a little better. Maybe. If I get one more in there, it's gonna hold it pretty good for us. I'm gonna grab the floor jack and just put a little bit of tension on this pan and try and close this gap up just a hair. Not much, maybe just like a 1/16 of an inch. It'll just make welding it up a little bit easier. If I can get out from underneath this truck. Got all these layers on. Oh. Okay. Alright, I don't know if that helped us close the gap up all that much, but it's at least a weldable gap. It's not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and get a few more tacks in this and get it clamped and lined up along the way down this line here. I'm gonna have a little bit of cut and fit to do up here yet, but that's okay. I left myself extra this time because last time I had to put some filler pieces in up there. So I intentionally left that a hair long. And then when I get this kind of pushed down into place, it all kind of lines up nicely up there. I need to get my flanges welded in here and down along the sides as well. So first things first though, we want to get this side fit in, and then we'll start getting the fitment right up on the firewall. All right, so now I need to get this flange welded in, and this is a little bit, I'm working with the way this panel is lining up. I went ahead and put a tack here to hold it where I want it, kind of in the middle of this panel, because I'm gonna have to manipulate this corner of the panel back out towards the firewall. There's about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch gap between the inside of the firewall and this panel. So the new floor pan has to come back out this way. So we're gonna have to pound that into place. But before I can do that, I need to get this side where I want it. And that's all lining up really nice, and I like where that's headed. But I need to get this flange in so that I can, at a minimum, clamp it to the firewall. So this side of the panel stays where it needs to stay while we're trying to manipulate that side in. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put 2 tacks in this to get it lined up where I think it needs to be. And we're gonna get 2 tacks in it, and then I'm gonna just double check that it is where I want it before we get too carried away welding it in to place. So far, I'm liking the fit up. Everything's kind of fitting up really good. I like my gap all the way down around here. I've got one trouble spot area, and it's up here. Let's get some light on this. What you might be able to see, might be kind of hard to see, is I have a gap here where this panel in this corner is too far inward into the cab of the firewall. So if you were to try and push on this, it's going to flex that corner out. It's going to flex it over here. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to take my angle grinder. I'm going to make a cut right here. That way I can move this corner of the firewall down, and we can work this corner over, and I may end up having to put a little filler piece in here just to accommodate for this sharper curve in the firewall than what this can accommodate, this panel can accommodate. So make a cut right here, we'll fold this back, we'll fold this over, get it all fit up nice, and then see what we've got to do up in the corner of the panel here. Alright, yeah, I have to put in a little bit of a filler here, but otherwise, we're really good. Up through here, all the way around. We're good fit up through here. One thing I need to do, I need to get this corner fit in now. We've got a pretty good gap here. We're going to get this fit down into place. And then I need to get this edge trimmed up, and I need to get these holes repunched. So I'm going to go ahead and start working this back down into place and seeing what we can do with that. And getting this trimmed down where this piece will meet up with this piece. Hopefully we don't have to do a filler like we did on the other side. And seeing what we can do to clean this up and make this look a little bit nicer. we go. This is how it turned out. Turned out pretty nice, guys. I'm pretty happy with this. It's all tacked into place. Obviously, we got a lot of finish welding to do, a little bit of patching up in that corner, but man, I'm really happy with this, and I can't help but just sit back and look at how far we've come, how much metal we put into this cab, how much better of a place we are today than when we started a few months ago. I'm really happy with this. Now, obviously, like I said, we still got a lot of finish welding and grinding and all that to do all around the truck, all around the cab. And we still got to get in our cab mounts that go down here up against the floorboards. We've got to get those installed as well. So we've got a ways to go yet. We're not there, but we're making really, really good progress. Now, with all that said, guys, that's where I'm going to leave you this week. I feel like this is a great milestone for the truck. We got the majority of the metal fab done in the cab finally, and I think that's worth celebrating. So I'm gonna have a cold snack. I'm gonna sit back and stare at my work for a little while and really try not to think about all the welding and grinding I have ahead of me, but just celebrate how far we've come, how much progress we've made on this project, and just how much closer we are to eventually being able to drive this thing. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, if you don't work on your project, it will not work on itself. Get out in the garage, get building, and I'll see you on the next episode of Cody Builds. Man, I really don't want to do that grinding.